A hunting season for the history books in the New River Valley. A Giles County man harvested an animal not seen there since 1958.
In a 10 News exclusive, 10 News anchor Rachel Lucas heads to her hometown of Giles County to talk to the hunter who found the county's first elk in decades.
Hunting is a family pastime in Giles County, and in these mountains, there's plenty of places for animals to roam.
Here it's really, that's what we do.
Wesley Woodyard has lived in Giles his entire life. He grew up hunting with his father and now shares the tradition with his kids. While he knows these woods well, this season his trail cam captured something he's never seen before. Something so surprising, he got a call early one morning about it.
I was in bed and he said, man, you got to get up. He said, there's an elk on your camera. I was like, no way. I figured a big buck, but no, in fact, it was a big elk.
An elk in Giles County. We didn't grow up thinking that there were elk here, so
No.
That's a surprise.
No, not at all. I never would have thought I'd ever seen that here.
An opportunity to hunt elk in Giles hasn't been seen since Wesley's grandfather's time. Wesley quickly got his license and lost a lot of sleep that night.
I didn't know what to think. I'd always dreamed about it. I would love to have always had a chance to go out west and kill one, but it's unreal that I've got to do it here in my backyard.
A hunting photo he never dreamed he would be taking, an experience he shared with his kids that they'll never forget. Wesley took us to the Butte Mountain Overlook in Giles. From up here, you can see everything, including where the elk herds released in the early 1900s used to roam.
I knew back in the day that, they were in here. This started in 1917 is when they first introduced them from out in Yellowstone. And like I said, I never dreamed that I'd have this opportunity.
According to the Department of Wildlife Resources, more elk were released in Giles in 1922. By 1926, due to poor habitat and overharvest, only 2 elk herds in the state remained, one of which was in Giles. The number of elk hunters peaked in 1958, the same year the last known elk was hunted in Giles County by a man from Narrows, and Wes found his family.
Hayden Blankenship, which is actually, he harvested that elk over my left shoulder, and I've actually got to talk to his son, and he gave me a bunch of pictures and some articles out of the Virginia game magazines and Virginia Leader stuff. It's been a big deal to him too. His mom was actually in awe, that somebody else got to have a part of it.
2 families now connected through the shared love of the hunt. Hayden Blankenship's historic photo taken in 1958, now proudly mounted in Wesley's home beside his, taken this fall.
I guess 64 years. So, yeah, that's what I thought was the coolest thing about it, the history of it, and not so much about what I've done, but, to have a sliver of the books has been pretty cool.
But the question still remains, where did the elk come from? State wildlife biologists took DNA samples of Wesley's elk to find out. They suspect the young bull came from this herd in Buchanan, where, as 10 News showed you late last year, the state has reestablished elk at a reclaimed coal mine.
We've got about 200 in Buchanan County and, about 50 or so down in Wise County, and then there's some elk that are spread out in other counties as well in Southwest Virginia.
It's likely he was pushed out of the herd by another, more dominant bull elk.
So these elk would be crazy to move off of this and to, go to these neighboring counties that aren't being specifically managed for them.
It's unlikely more are in Giles, but as this hunting season proved, it's now possible.
As a hunter, I hope everybody gets a chance to witness and do what I've got to do.
Wesley is anxiously awaiting the state's test results to find out more about his elk, because as he's found, his greatest hunting story has also sparked a love of history and shared traditions of the hunters who have come before him. In Giles County, I'm Rachel Lucas, 10 News, working for you.